Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for those musical movie moments when the voice you hear doesn't actually belong to the person singing on screen.
When you know my name is Ray, that's why I believe that now.
I believe. Number 10, High School Musical, Zac Efron. This might shock and sadden a number of former tween hearts, but it's true. Zac Efron basically didn't sing in High School Musical.
I never knew that it could happen till it happened to me. Oh, yeah.
Well, he's been quoted as saying that it was a surprise to him when, after everything was recorded, his voice was not on them. The reason appears to be related to his vocal range. Apparently, the role of Troy Bolton was written for a tenor, while Efron is a baritone and couldn't quite get the vocals right.
We're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach.
So the producers had Drew Seeley voice almost all of Zac's singing parts in the film. And before you totally freak out, don't worry, yes, it's Efron singing in High School Musical 2, High School Musical 3, Hairspray, and The Greatest Showman.
So why don't we rewrite the stars? Maybe the world could be ours tonight.
Number 9, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? George Clooney. If you assumed that George Clooney could sing because his aunt was the great Rosemary Clooney, you'd be very wrong.
But take some advice, paisano, learn how to mambo. Get you good at looking, but you don't know what's cooking till you ain't mambo.
But don't feel bad. The producers and directors of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou made the same assumption when they asked him to sing in that film. Even Clooney himself thought that he had at least a little talent in that realm. However, once they heard the recording, they knew they were wrong.
I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised.
And thankfully, Clooney, after hearing it played back to him, had no false perceptions about his singing abilities and was completely fine with lip-syncing. So in stepped bluegrass musician and singer Dan Tyminski.
Eventually I told them that, okay, bring in your singer, and they brought in a guy named Dan Tyminski who did a wonderful job, and I got to lip sync to him through the thing. But yes, I had high hopes of singing.
Number 8, My Fair Lady, Audrey Hepburn.
Crept over my windowsill, someone's head resting on my knee, warm and tender as he can be.
While Henry Higgins was able to improve Eliza Doolittle's voice in My Fair Lady, the only way the producers found to help Audrey Hepburn sing better was to get someone else to do it for her. And that person was Marni Nixon, a soprano with a beautiful voice who ghost sang for actresses in musicals on multiple occasions. However, it isn't all Nixon on the soundtrack.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait. You'll be sorry, but your tears'll be too late.
For the Just You Wait number, the filmmakers used Hepburn for the, shall we say, harsh bits, whereas it's all Nixon in the more musically demanding bridge.
One day you'll be famous, or be proper and prim. Go to St. James so often I will call it St. Jim.
Number 7, The Sound of Music, Christopher Plummer.
Some of snow may you bloom and grow forever.
1965's The Sound of Music gave us many things. Great songs, great performances, and great scenery. But one thing The Sound of Music didn't give us was the sound of Christopher Plummer's singing voice. Well, actually it did, but only in very brief moments. You see, as Plummer told NPR back in 2012, while his voice was used for the entrances and exits of the songs, the rest of the singing was the voice of a man named Bill Lee.
For here you are, standing there loving me.
While you probably don't know his name, you might recognise his singing from numerous other films, including the awesome baritone line from Shere Khan in The Jungle Book.
Friends are for.
Luckily, with the release of the deluxe edition of the soundtrack in 2023, we got the chance to hear the songs with Plummer's own pipes. He's not bad.
For here you are, standing there, loving me.
Number 6, West Side Story, Natalie Wood.
You're the only thing I'll see forever, in my eyes, in my words, and in everything I do.
You may not have ever heard the name Marni Nixon before today, and yet you're about to hear it again on this list. Just like Nixon was used to make Audrey Hepburn's singing sound great, so too was she chosen to improve the melodic sounds coming out of Natalie Wood's mouth in West Side Story.
I feel stunning, and entrancing,
entrancing,
like running,
feel like
dancing,
running
and
and dancing,
joy, for I'm loved by a pretty, wonderful boy.
Wood's contract provided for her being given a chance to sing the songs herself, but it didn't take long for the music supervisors on the film to make the decision to go with Nixon. Although Wood's singing did make the final cut on the reprise of Somewhere.
Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday.
Number 5, La Vie en Rose, Marion Cotillard.
From the depths of my heart came a great lonely cry.
It's true that Marion Cotillard took singing lessons for her role as the legendary French singer Edith Piaf. But it's also true that she didn't sing in the movie, and she knew that was going to be the case when she was taking the lessons. However, she took them anyway in order to be sure she could properly move her lips and tongue and mouth to make it uber believable that she was the one singing, and it worked.
But I needed to learn her technique, and I wanted to learn how to position my tongue, how to position myself, the breathing and everything.
Her performance, including the lip-syncing scenes, all came together perfectly and earned Cotillard the first ever Best Actress Oscar given for a French language performance.
Non, je ne regrette rien, ni le bien qu'on m'a fait.
Number 4, Whitney Houston, I Wanna Dance With Somebody, Naomi Ackie.
Yet I watched it growing. Oh, I know you're listening on.
If you saw the 2022 biopic Whitney Houston, I Wanna Dance With Somebody, and was amazed at how similar actress Naomi Accie's singing voice was to that of Whitney Houston, well, here's why. The voice doing most of the singing was Whitney Houston. Ackie has a great voice and a vocal range similar to Whitney, but her actual singing was only used sporadically throughout the film to fill those little moments.
Close the door behind you, leave your key. Rather be alone than unhappy.
As she explained to People, that's why the beginning singing in the gospel choirs was me, and then you hear this change so that we know it's Whitney. In 2015, for the Lifetime movie Whitney, lead actress Yaya DaCosta also didn't sing the songs, but instead of Houston, R&B singer Deborah Cox provided the vocals. Number 3, Ray, Jamie Foxx. Given that he's released 5 albums, been nominated for 10 Grammys, and even won one, we all know that Jamie Foxx can sing.
See what I got over a lot of fellas is that I'm more creative.
But that didn't matter on the set of the Ray Charles biopic, Ray, because as director Taylor Hackford said about the music in his film, "I had to have Ray Charles singing. These are masterpieces." And what Hackford wanted, he got, which meant Fox's well-deserved Academy Award-winning performance involved lip-syncing to Ray Charles recordings. However, while the singing was Charles, the piano playing, that was all Fox.
Don't forget to pray, 'cause there'll be hard times. Hard times.
Number 2, Bohemian Rhapsody, Rami Malek.
I've got to go, gotta leave you all behind and face the truth.
There's a guy out there whose singing voice is amazingly almost identical to that of the late, great Freddie Mercury. His name is Mark Martel. While Rami Malek's Oscar-winning performance in Bohemian Rhapsody saw him brilliantly inhabit Mercury in his accent, movements, and persona, Malek just couldn't get the singing voice right.
Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat, yeah.
But Canadian Christian rock singer Martel sounds eerily like Mercury. So when you see Malek singing in the movie, it's mostly one of two voices you're hearing, neither of which is usually Malek. The filmmakers used both Queen recordings and Martel versions throughout the film, with a little Malek in there occasionally.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Selena, Jennifer Lopez.
And I know it's not right, and I guess I should try to do what I should do.
You'd think that one of the reasons one would cast Jennifer Lopez in a musical biopic would be to have her sing. However, while that sounds like an obvious statement today, we have to remember that Selena came out in 1997. And back in 1997, Lopez wasn't known for her vocal talents.
I'm not a singer, I haven't performed as a singer, so I'm a dancer. I'd be singing and the mic be over here, I'd be like, yeah, oh, the mic, because it's not really my voice.
In fact, her first album, On the Six, wasn't released until 1999, and it was partly her experience making Selena that inspired her to dive into music in a way she hadn't before.
If you really want me, babe, if you had my love and I gave you all my trust, would you cook me?
All that being said, Lopez is lip-syncing to Selena's voice in the movie. Which of these non-singing performances surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments.
And they start playing it, it just sounds like a cat being run over by a semi, and I'm like, oh my God.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.